said he was feeling a little bit out of sorts. He said his team gave him a little bit of a pep talk, and he said, I'm not backing down, I'm going back out just as hard as I was in practice.
Well, he's certainly not going to back down, that's for sure. He's been one of the up-and-coming stars here at Drift Masters, come out of nowhere from me and Dave. A bit of an unknown entity, shy on outside zone 3 there, but Diogo Correia goes way wide, wheels over the gravel, just carries too much speed into outside zone 4. And now Correia looks for the wall, dances the back end of that BMW up onto the wall, knows he's made a mistake and he's driving angry now. This guy, Dave, just saying, he has been an up-and-coming star.
Get the job done in treacherous conditions.
Well, he'd take a 78 because that would put him right in the mix and right in the show. What has Diogo Correia got right now as he comes down very fast? He's coming in very hot. He's way, way wide. He's caught massive understeer and now throws away the opportunity. A shot at top 32 at round 1. Big upset for Diogo Correia.
Not the cleverest of ways to approach that circuit. And I mean, came in, and I love Diogo Correia, as you know, for this kind of style. All out, 100% every time. But it's just not the way it's going to work there. Too slippery, too much standing water, lost the back end. I'm feeling much more comfortable. Let's see if he can turn that into a successful qualifying run.
Well, let's hope so. Diogo Correia was one we picked to be a great here at the Drift Masters European Championship. As he goes full throttle now, looks for that front zone just a little shy on it. You can see the way he lets that car wander and waver across the circuit for the outside zone. Transitions down, looks for the second outside zone, works it. Very tidy on that second inside zone now as he makes his way through. You can see that front wheel fully locked as smoke bails from the front tyre. Good transition. Oh, and a big waver though as he had to balance the car. Up to the wall he goes, and Diogo Correia, we know he's having a good weekend.
And he had a good first run in the bag. It was 71. He's in 25th at the moment. This we will expect to be bigger. Weight transfer, very nice through the first corner. Doesn't risk too much there. Now he starts to wind on the power. Oh, could be a little closer to that inner zone for my liking as he transitions back now. This is very quick and fluid. A little bit of handbrake gets him. It's a good line here. Gets through this section quite nicely. A little bit of left foot brake probably wasn't necessary, and it isn't necessary. It actually slows the car down too much, and he misses that outer zone, and it kind of becomes a bit meh toward the end of the run because he had some great moments, but then that little bit of left foot brake, he overcompensated from north to south of Europe here in one battle, and two very steely competitors. Let's see what happens in this one as Juha Rintonen, who's been looking very strong all weekend, takes on Diogo Correia, who sometimes can wake up in the morning and win a whole event. Here we go as they come through the intersection of that first corner. Looks like Juha Rintonen's got this one dialed. The bodywork flexing with the speed that GR86 is carrying through the course. Look at this, the fin absolutely flying. Diogo Correia with no answer whatsoever for Juha Rintonen's pace right now, having to cut the course in that E92 BMW to stay in the fight. Juha Rintonen looking like he is on rails here because that's all he can do. It's going to be interesting to see if Juha can manage that aggression.
Yeah, let's see what he can do as he slots that car through the gears. Diogo Correia starts to pull a little bit of ground already. Correia now, he opens up the throttle, starts to drive away. As Juha Rintonen now looks for the door of that BMW. The transition, Rintonen closer than Correia as they come down into this slower section now through that second inside zone. They look for the transition back, no separation as Juha Rintonen doesn't make any mistakes, keeps it within the track limits. Oh, goes for the transition. I thought he was going to make contact there. Squeezes the throttle. He's out of that last outside zone, but he's wheel to wheel across the line.
Yeah, I thought you are.
Team have done an incredible job to get the car repaired and back out, and Diogo Correia now leads the line in this insane BMW E92, 900 horsepower, and he's coming for a bit of redemption. Not had the year that he would want so far, but look at this from Correia as he fires through. The line is beautiful, Dave, as he gets to the wall. Can he keep this one on form? He's certainly going to go for it. Nothing left at the back end of this BMW. He's in that outside zone. Front wheel locked. He goes to the wall. Correia on a flyer.
There's too much here. He can just take an experienced lap. Then again, it's Diogo Correia, so he's probably going to go crazy. So
I'm just listening to you say that, and I'm thinking, this is not the Diogo Correia that I know, Dave, that's for sure. Right, shallow on outside zone 1. Can he make it work? Fires the car on an angle. He wants to make a statement here. Correia, though, tags the wall and it pushes him away. It won't take a lot now to upset the balance of the car on this absolutely soaking wet circuit. Diogo Correia looks for outside zone 4. He's going to go very wide here, gets the job done on that part, transitions back, nice transition to outside zone 5, back on the throttle nice and early, adjusts it on the handbrake as he fires the car into outside zone 6. Now looks up the bank for that final outside zone. He gets there and it slowly starts to fall away across the line.
I can hear the duct tape being unrolled.
Well, they're off the line, Dave. Through the gears, Correia gives Max Heidrich the room to initiate. Oh, and it's a big angle initiation from Heidrich, and it doesn't pay off. He's way on the inside, way down from the wall, and way away from damaging the back end of that S13. Now Correia is absolutely upset on that line. He's going to have to work hard to get back into the zone as Max Heidrich looks for those outside zones, and he's put him on a completely wrong qualifying line. Correia deals with it. Correia gets himself into the groove, but it's messy from Heidrich.
Yeah, he got the win here, but there's no simple with Diogo Correia. He's going max attack as well. Here we go.
Here we go, through the gears, down they come. But look at Heidrich strails in the back bumper, and now Correia throws in a big angle initiation, and he does get to outside zone 2, and he makes it work this time as Correia absolutely nails that qualifying line, goes super wide to outside zone 4, and Heidrich is with him. Look at the transition from Heidrich, times it way early to try and gain that proximity back through the smoke. Comes Heidrich, looks for the door, that BMW and tags it on the wall across the line. Wow!
Will that count in this battle? Behind the current champ trying to climb back to the top of the ladder. He'll need to get the job done here fast.
Well, he'll want a top 8 finish at least right now. But look at the pace of Vincek as he gets into outside zone 2. On the wall, no worries this time, no wobbles. But Correia is absolutely flying. He wants it, but now he gets lost through the centre circuit. He's going to have to make a dive, and he does. Sacrifices outside zone 5. Through the smoke goes Correia as he looks for the door, but he just can't get that much proximity.
So now he's up against Correia, who's a bit of an unknown entity in the lead position here. So Vincek's going to have to use all his experience here.
Well, there we go. Look at this. Correia almost throws it backwards. Looks rock steady though as he gets into outside zone 2. Up onto the wall he goes. And look at Vincek, absolutely glued to the door. They come through inside zone 3, up into the wall. And Correia is rock steady, but there's no shaking. The Polish two-time champion now as they fire into outside zone 6 onto the door. Oh, Vincek shuts it down.
What has happened? You can see the hands on the head.
This one's going to be one that we never thought we'd see, especially in the Great 8, ready for a Final 4. Through the gears they go. Piscotty fires in that BMW 92, and look at Diogo Correia, though. He's planted onto the side already. It lets him escape a little bit, but Piscotty not as deep into outside zone 2 as what he'd like to have been. Now through they go, down to outside zone 4, and Correia losing a little bit of ground. He's going to have to shortcut outside zone 5 to make that ground back up again. As Piscotty looks for that final outside zone, Correia not on the door, goes for a dive and makes it almost there.
The judges' standard set so high. It's on to Correia now in the lead position. It's going to be Piscotty in the chase position. Look at Piscotty, very early initiation. Now he's going to wrist it, and he's made it work. That was very, very close, but he's on the inside of the track. Correia goes right out to the edge of the circuit, exactly what the judges want. Great line from Correia, way outside those two inner markers. Correia's on a flyer here, and Piscotty's got to make something work here as Correia jumps through outer zone 5 and slams the car up towards that last outer circle. And look at Piscotty, he's right there. No splitting these guys after 2 runs. So the Shannon's coming back on form at round 3. Here we go.
Yeah, look at this. Shanahan already absolutely flying, but Correia not messing around. Correia wants it. He dials on the angle. He's on the door already. If Shanahan's 86, he's closer than anyone on outside zone 2. Correia is hungry for a win, and he looks for the transition, and he makes it work. And Correia goes tight to the wall. Did he get in the wall? As Correia now transitions back, he lost some ground. They look back for outside zone 6 and up onto the outside zone 7 they go, and Correia gets back on the wheel. So, I'm being told he's good to go. He wants to run it, so he is going to run it, and he's going to run it in the lead position against Jack Shanahan. They fire through. Shanahan looks down now. He knows he may have an advantage in this battle already, but he's still going to push 110%. Shanahan goes door to door and wheel to wheel across the centre of the circuit. Look at this. Shanahan pushing Correia through the middle of the track. He wants that final with his brother more than ever. As Shanahan's car pops up and down and pops through the smoke as he jumps up onto the door. Oh, wow!
On the wall, and the other side from Conor Shannon, and that is going to be the victory lap for the Portuguese man Diogo Correia, the first ever trophy in Drift Masters to go to a Portuguese driver, and it's going to be Diogo Correia, and of course it is. He is now the man to beat in Portugal. He is their most successful driver in history, and again, now he's got the result to back it up. Ian, we've been talking about him as a rising star for over 2 years. Well, now he's justified it.
He certainly has justified it, Dave. And you know what? We pipped him a few years ago when he made his appearance.
At the start of every run. It's Diogo Correia, because he is the man that got to the podium in Finland. The podium, Eddie. Came out of nowhere, because struggling to qualify for 2 rounds, and he was the best man on earth last round. Let's see what Diogo Correia we get this weekend. He's got a Mercedes engine in this car, which is absolutely bananas. 900 horsepower from this compressor engine in the C92, and he's absolutely flying through the course here, Diogo Correia. Big angle into those outer zones as he transitions back. And look at this, no let up on the angle. This is where everyone's struggling. Not so much Diogo Correia gets there early. And Diogo, a phenomenal driver. I've said it once, I'll say it again. The greatest driver Portugal has ever produced.
Yeah, certainly looking very, very excited and feeling the benefits of that podium, Dave. The confidence that can do for a driver, huge, as he very this weekend. So what can he do in that lead position? Diogo Correia to lead in Pontus Hartmann. Here we go, top 32, run 1 for these guys. You just see them testing the conditions, Dave, as they make their way up. Big handbrake from Diogo Correia and a big straighten as well, getting it all wrong on that first outer zone, Dave.
Yeah, it looked to me like he stalled up completely, went on too much handbrake, and he didn't. Oh, and Pontus Hartmann's making mistakes now. He just barely held on to it. Correia's bumper goes over his windscreen. This is wet and wild stuff here in Riga, as Correia's just holding on to a run. A lot of handbrake. I mean, I wouldn't imagine a huge amount of wet weather practice for Diogo Correia. And Pontus Hartmann doing a good job of avoiding what could have been a couple of incidents there. I think we're going to come back to that big shot. Not as much rubber on the centre of the track as there is on the outer zone.
Yeah, which makes it hugely more predictable. But we got the second half of this one, and as you say, Pontus Hartmann perhaps with a slight advantage going into the second half of this one in the lead position now. What can Diogo Correia do in the chase position? Can he apply some pressure and force a mistake? Well, the lead line not great for Pontus Hartmann here as he shallows up quite dramatically as he exits that outside zone 1. Now as they come in front of the grandstand, he starts to open up a little bit of a gap over Correia. He'll be looking to try and close that through the latter sections, but his line's just not great. But look at this from Hartmann. He throws it up onto the curb and throws it away, perhaps, Dave.
Yeah, that's starting to look a little bit like a one more time. Well, did Correia straighten enough for a 0? We definitely knew he had an advantage. Was it an incomplete? I am not too sure if he did enough. The judges are going to have a real long.
Yeah, look, I think that's what it's going to come down to. Was it enough? Was that straight? He's ready to take down Laurie Heinahan here in the top 16 and book himself a place in the Grade 8. Will it go his way, though, as Laurie Heinahan now leaves the line? They slam through the gears. Heinahan sets himself up nicely. Nice initiation into that first outer zone. Correia, though, a little bit shallow here. Could he get caught? No, he just manages to make it work there, but he's a slight straighten, flirting with the curve there on the inside line. He's just completely out of where he needs to be as Heinahan now sets himself up nicely here. This has been a perfect lead run from him so far. Touches himself into the wall here, into the groove, and you can just see that rear spoiler just nestling up against the wall as Heinahan comes for it. But here comes Correia through the final sections, and Dave, you know what? It's fast, it's slow. The championship, and really becoming one of those guys that you expect nothing but perfection from every time he comes out on the circuit. Here we go, second half of this one, all to play for Correia now in the lead position. Heinahan in the chase, here we go. Nice entry there from Correia as he looks to try and overturn the disadvantage that he might have from that first run. Heinahan tucks himself in, gets himself ready for the ride here as he goes door to door with Diogo Correia. And Correia now switches back nicely, just gets himself a little bit up onto that curb, and you can see once again just how patchy it is. But Correia is struggling to get back onto the wide line as he takes it into the final section. Now he gets it up onto the wall, but Laurie Heinahan right there glued to him as they cross the line.
Excellent stuff from Laurie Heinahan and Chase, and you know what? He wasn't as close a man that could easily top qualifying here if he gets it all together. Correia's had a great season so far. This Mercedes-powered 900 horsepower BMW fires into that first corner as he takes it wildly down. Doesn't get as wide as the judges want him to be. It's fast, he's got all the flicks, he's got all the style, but sometimes the style on this particular circuit doesn't reward you. It can kind of almost exaggerate your mistakes by taking you offline, but it's a good run from Correia. He's like, wide, when he gets through it, he will, as he takes it back to it. So again, he's firing the car on big angle, but then it's quite slow when he gets to the zone. So straight into an 86. Anyway, this is real life, folks. Diogo Correia from Portugal fires into that first corner, goes wide. Correia's going very fast here.
Wow.
That's brave. He went wide and he went fast, and it worked for him as he has a lot of momentum through that corner. Correia always ready to put on a show for anybody here at Drift Masters as he fires out to that outer zone. Correia doing a good job here, looking like he's well in control of this one. Nice and out to the wall again. This is a man very comfortable with his machinery after 5 rounds of competition. Correia looking exceptional once again.
I mean, look, the podium for me in Finland was the stamp of all 4. Look, Jakub Puszczonski is the technical driver. He's absolutely pinpoint perfect. You've got Correia, though, on the other side of the track, ready to battle him down, and he is the wild man. He throws flair and style into it, and now they're going to have to go door to door. This one's going to play out in a very strange way already, because look at the separation. No real proximity from Correia. He's trying to make a dive, but he's on shallow angle as they go into the wall now. As Puszczonski puts foot to floor, you can see Correia making those dives, but it makes a mess of that dive as they come into that second to last outside zone, up to the wall, and Correia finally gets on the door. Mistake made by these drivers. He's going to get seen, and it's going to make a big impact on the score. They're off the line. It will be Correia to lead out Puszczonski for a spot in the top 16. Awaits nice initiation from Correia. He carries the speed, the bumper dispatched from the back end of that BMW now as he fires into the wall, and you can see Puszczonski taking all the opportunity to tuck up on the inside. He goes for the front wheel. He's not in the outside zone, but he has that proximity as Correia rubs the back end of the BMW along the wall. Nice transition down, and Puszczonski sees an open door, and he takes the opportunity to park that brand new GR86 on the door.
Wow, what a drift masters, and here we are at the top 16.
Yeah, these guys are off through the gears, no messing around. Correia, your top qualifier here at round 5, wants to get the job done and wants to win, but Correia has been on the podium already this season and he's not going to go down without a fight. But look at this from Correia, already on that perfect qualifying line, but Correia makes a brave dive. Onto the wall he goes, flame erupts from the back end of the wall. So now Correia once again makes a brave transition, trying to put it to the door of the Norwegian sledgehammer across the line.
They break into that first corner as Correia goes hot into outer zone 1. Correia climbs up onto the door. Correia now starts to reel him in as Correia goes right to the edge of the track, rubbing the bumper on that E92 all along. As now Correia starts to bring the fight. Big proximity, Correia. He goes up to the front wheel. This is dangerous for Correia, but he stays in it and gets away with it. Correia, though, on a monster of a lead run, allowing Correia up onto the door, wheel to wheel, as they go across the line.
The engine out of the car just hours ago in bits. They rebuilt the engine. They repaired everything that was damaged. He's back on the line, ready for qualifying, and here he goes. Diogo Correia, the man that took a podium in Finland. What could he do this weekend here in Poland as he puts the front bumper of this E92 BMW to the wall? No messing around from Correia. He wants this one bad as he puts back bumper to wall now. Absolutely ripping through the circuit. It's Diogo Correia as he balances the car on a foot brake through that touch and go. Now looks for outside zone 5. He's a little late getting there, but he does manage to get to the outside zone. Picks up outside zone 6, puts the back end towards the wall and across the line. He'll be
on the line to take to his second qualifying run. He's outside the top 32 Ian. This is a strange place for Diogo Correia from Portugal. He's got to be sensational here. The scoring has gone higher all the way through this qualifying session. Correia did a great job here. Oh, really close to the wall. This is a nice, look at the fluidity from Correia as he transitions back. This is what we want to see. E92 buried into the end of that zone, and this is where it gets real tricky. You got to get a touch and go. He gets it. Now this is where everyone's been making mistakes, especially on big angle. Doesn't make a mistake, touches the wall, stays in it. There's no bootlet, there's no spoiler. What there is a good score on the board.
That was a really good run from Correia. Really, really good run from Diogo Correia. That was again, this is going to be hungry for it, but he has all the Polish fans behind him. Just Puszczonski right now as he fires through, big flick across the circuit, and an early initiation from Diogo Correia as he now leaves a little bit of ground between him and Puszczonski as they come through to the 2 inner zones, as Puszczonski doesn't risk anything, doesn't want to put the car at risk. And look at this from Correia, he now starts to close the gap, a little tag onto the door. He says, I don't care if it's all blue carbon fibre, I'm going to take a bite out the side of it. They come through the centre of the circuit, and Correia goes for it. Correia goes for a big lunge, big dive onto the door and outside zone 5, but he needs to be careful. He's letting Puszczonski drive away. I think he's going to separate this battle. They get ready to come off the line. There we go. Light goes green, gears drop as they come down, and look at this straight line dive from Puszczonski. He's on the door, he tags Correia as Correia now gets forced out of outside zone 1 early, and that could upset his line as he goes very close to the wall. Puszczonski lost in the smoke. He now starts to lose a lot of ground to Diogo Correia as Correia starts to fire away, but look at Puszczonski in the inside edge of the circuit. He's shortcutting the track to gain that proximity, and now Correia absolutely drives away into outside zone 5, and once again Puszczonski having the shortcut. He makes a dive, but I think it's all over for the Polish.
Oh, this is incredible to watch. The finale, we're about to see it go down.
Yeah, I think Klim van Aert wants this one more than Diogo Correia. Correia's had a taste of the champagne this year, and I know that Klim van Aert's been hungry for it. And look at that, the big initiation for Van Aert. He's in that zone, he's deep, but Correia opens the door and takes a step in now as he goes for a big dive down on the inside into outside zone 4. Correia knows he can't let Klim van Aert take one step further away, and look at Correia. He's hungry for this one as they fire through the middle of the circuit. Correia's closer than we've seen anyone through the centre of the circuit, but look at Klim van Aert. This is a textbook run. This could be a huge qualifying run. What a lead from Klim van Aert.
Unbelievable. Leaves the boot lid and the rear bumper. 3 nations fighting it out this weekend, and here we go. Klim van Aert chasing in Diogo Correia.
Yeah, Correia on a big one. He's flicked the car across the circuit. 20 panels already flying. Klim van Aert goes for a dive, but he's out of the outside zone. He needs to mirror Diogo Correia's every single move. He's lost in the smoke though as Klim van Aert, as Correia throws up a smoke screen, trying to get away as he parks the back end into the wall. Now Klim van Aert starts to make the dive. He looks for the side of that BMW. They fire through, but Klim van Aert's way out of sync. He's way on the inside now. He's having to work on this one, but it's a mistake from Correia. He tags the wall, and that forces Klim van Aert on the inside.
Yeah, that's made it awkward for the judges. That made it very awkward. Up until there we go. Championship on the line. Conor Shanahan, Diogo Correia into that first corner they go.
Oh, look at this from Shanahan. He's already pedaling the car. He's very, very angry, and he fires that car in, and Correia is right with him, though. It looked like Correia was going to lose some ground, but no hope for Shanahan. Correia making brave transitions as he fires that car across the circuit. Shanahan's on a flyer. Correia hits the wall, upsets the line. Shanahan looking dialed as they look for that touch and go. Oh, Correia with a big brave transition, but it doesn't pay off. Shanahan tags the wall. This is messy towards the end, but Shanahan looking stronger.
He's going to approach it, but we're about to find out. We don't know. We just watch on in disbelief every run tonight as Correia in the lead position, Shanahan in the chase position. Correia with that big flick into that first corner. Shanahan fires in. Look at Correia going right to the wall and Shanahan right to the door. Look at this. Just impeccable driving from Correia and Shanahan as they transition through, and now Shanahan jumps up onto the door. Correia can't make the same mistake as and doesn't. Gets a perfect run in the lead. This is unbelievable from Diogo Correia on the outside run. Missing a little bit of that touch and go. Shanahan now starts to reel in the Portuguese driver. Oh, big angle and a touch with the wall from Correia. Shanahan so calculated up onto the door. Exclamation point, unbelievable.